How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Lords of the Fallen. So, I believe we are here at the end of the game. I think going right up these stairs, we are going to be facing Adyr. So, let's get going. As I said before, I am ready for the game to end at this point.
Justin, I'm sorry. This was all my fault. I just wanted things to be better for us. And forgive me. No, get away from...
Sure.
I look upon you with pity, my lost child. For you have been deceived and enslaved by forces who regard you as nothing more than an instrument through which they might enact their blasphemous will and prevent my rightful return. They speak of light while offering you nothing but blindness. Weak hypocrites relying on the malignant power of Umbra. With one breath, then decrying it with another. They brand me evil, a tyrant, and yet I offer you something they will not. A choice. Reject the fanatical crusaders and the deranged servants of the self-proclaimed judge. Dismiss all of their false dogma and the torturous mission to which they have bound you. And only then will you know freedom. And if you would hear it, the truth.
Creepy. That's no doubt a deer.
Why do you refuse to open your eyes to their manipulations? To millennia of shameful distortions of the truth? For eons, I stood as mankind's guardian, shepherding with wisdom and love. Yet in return, I was betrayed. Those three power-hungry malefactors who declared themselves judges turned my own children against me and waged a terrible war of needless slaughter.
Okay, now we got some retaliations.
The judges and their crazed followers butchered those who remained loyal to me. And when I created the Rogar as a means to put an end to the madness,
Oh,
they too were no match for the heathen forces. In the end, even I fell. Although the judges found themselves unable to kill a god, despite their best efforts.
oh God.
The world left barren realm, which has served as my
Dude,
prison
the
ever
lock.
since.
Oh my god, the lock on.
While mankind set about ruling themselves, free
Dude,
from the
it's
divine
right in front of
oppression
me. Why
of
can't
which
you
they
lock
accuse
onto that?
me. And yet, how little time passed before the judges themselves were raised to the status of demigods, figures of worship, their real ambition all too clear.
Dude.
Yet an outcome. The people deluded themselves into believing a triumph.
Oh my
How
god.
much blood has been spilled in their names since my banishment? Far more than was ever spilled in my name. And now, after all the time mankind have had to shape their own destiny, see what they have made of it. War, greed, hatred, suffering, chaos. They believed they were
Okay,
capable
this
of
is
guiding themselves.
this is gonna be annoying.
So distant hubris of humanity, mankind needs me, now more than ever, free from the divine oppression of which they accused me. And yet, how little time passed before the judges themselves were raised to the status of demigods, figures of worship, their real ambition all too clear. Yet an outcome, the people deluded themselves into believing a triumph. How much blood has been spilled in their names since my banishment? Far more than was ever spilled in my name.
Tell you, this fight is giving me some anxiety here.
And now,
Constant
after all
fireball
the time
barrage
mankind
and
have had to shape their own destiny,
Adyr just
see what they have made of it.
talking the entire time, and
Hatred,
like the thumping,
chaos.
heartbeat, whatever that is, like,
They were capable
yeah,
of
it's seriously
guiding
giving me
themselves,
anxiety.
but have been proven sorely mistaken. Mankind needs me now more than ever.
Kind of reminds me of the last fight in Lives of P, where Geppetto is doing nothing but like talking shit the entire time.
Odious and the abhorrent umbral creature. They are cowards, hiding in force light and obfuscating shadow, deeming you unworthy of their presence, their communion. And yet, here I stand before you with true guns.
Oh my god, dude. The fireballs.
For I love all of my children, even the wayward ones.
Alright, this might be the play right here.
You must stop this.
Chill in this corner here. Let everybody collect.
Mankind for eternity.
And just berate them with lightning.
What my own enemies fear. The loss of the dominion they have established for themselves in my absence. Cease your misguided violence. Now.
I think this is kind of like a time thing too, because one of my attempts, he just did like a massive AoE and just literally killed me in one hit.
Destroy you.
I think that's why the heartbeat is like getting faster and faster.
The world in which you exist is my world. My home. And yet mankind,
Let's got him here.
creation, exiled me from it. You have
Unless there's another stage.
what it is.
I don't know. There might be, I mean.
This betrayal.
Is that it?
I look upon you with pity, my lost child. For you have been deceived and enslaved by forces who regard you as nothing more than an instrument through which they might enact their blasphemous will and prevent my rightful return.
Is that it? Are you dead? What's going on? That must be it. Holy shit. Am I dead? The light of the umbral lamp knows no I can't even say that word. Consuming even a god. Satiation. Satiation. I don't know. Aureus will be done by his heresy-tainted champion, rewarded only with annihilation. With renewal influence, Aureus unleashes his radiance to purify those deemed transgressors. In light, they fall. All right, that is it. And I must say that that final boss was pretty horrible. I don't know, but anyway, let's talk about the game. So there were definitely some things that I did like, and definitely some things that I did not like. So I'm going to structure this a little bit differently, and just kind of go over the stuff I do like versus what I did not like. So to start off, the level design and was really good, and the fact that what was so appealing about this game from the start is the whole idea of the two realms on top of each other, parallel realms sitting on top of each other, if you will. So you have Axiom and Umbral, and the whole idea was great, and execution was great. I feel like of progressing through Axiom and then getting to certain points where you couldn't proceed any further, and you had to go into Umbral to proceed further, and then essentially you'd progress a little bit and you'd get to an exit point, which would pretty much signify that you could exit Umbral and continue into Axiom at that point. So I was a little overwhelmed at first, thinking that you would almost need to go through the zones like twice, investigating Axiom and then Umbral. You really didn't need to do that, considering there was very good indicators of when you should go into Umbral and when you should come out. So while there were little spots here and there that you could peer into Umbral and see what was around, they did make it. I feel like I did collect quite a few things, and I probably still missed things, but I feel like I did do a lot of good exploring in both realms. So that whole concept is what intrigued me about the game originally, and I think it was very, very well done here. Boss designs, like regular bosses, not mini bosses, regular bosses were very good. I enjoyed them. However, they were a bit easy. I feel like, I had problems with, had some struggles with Pieta at first, but that was basically just getting used to the game. After that, I think, I don't think a single boss took me any more than 10 tries. So it was like 10, at least 10 tries or under. And, coming off Laza P and like Armored Core 6, where some bosses took me upwards of 4 hours, that was certainly welcomed, but it I don't know, it just seemed different. If anything, I think the bosses could be tuned up a little bit. Now, as far as the regular enemies, I feel like the groupings of enemies and regular enemies were tougher than the actual bosses. you know, I got frustrated a few times throughout the series just trying to run back to my vigor and ended up getting killed just trying to get it like multiple times. And it's frustrating, you know, when you're in the early stages of the game and you're trying to develop your build and that stuff happens. So it's, you know, it's just kind of like setback. So I thought the story was good. The lore was good. I didn't take too much time reading the lore on screen because there was quite a bit of it. I did read through that in my off recording. So I thought all of that was good. The sound effects and stuff like that of your weapons and, you know, like fire on the ground and everything. I think that was very well done. That's one thing that I noticed immediately about the game, that the sound was very different and very crisp, very good sounding. As far as replayability, I don't think this game has a lot of replayability, at least for me, because of the things that I didn't like about the game. I don't feel like I want to replay the game, unfortunately, and that's a shame. I things that I didn't like. I mean, this game has extremely poor enemy variety. You know, you'd face a mini boss, and then like not even 5 minutes later, that mini boss would become a regular enemy. In a sizable game like this, a 30 to 50 hour game, that's pretty atrocious to have that amount of enemy variety. You know, now if you look at like Thamisia, they didn't have great enemy variety, but that's like an 8 to 10 hour game. So I would expect a game like this to have a lot more enemy variety. And that's just something I personally don't enjoy. It takes away from a boss experience, in my opinion. You know, and From Software is guilty of it too. I mean, you know, look at Dark Souls 3. That like Dragon Slayer armor comes back as a regular enemy in the DLC. I don't like that because it takes away from the boss experience, in my opinion. So to have like mini bosses and stuff come back as regular enemies, it's just something I'm not a fan of. And obviously there's the big glaring problem of performance issues at launch. Now I do commend the devs for putting out patches on a regular basis and trying to make up for that. I do understand that, you know, companies have investors and stuff like that, and they essentially make the decision when they want the game to come out, despite, you know, it not being ready, which in my opinion is it's kind of shitty. But you know, we see a lot of that these days, unfortunately. But like I said, I do commend the devs for trying to make up for that and not make their game suck. I mean, like I was saying, I had some ups and downs during the series. Like there were times that I did like it, and then there were times that I didn't. Obviously, towards the end of the game, I was ready. I was honestly ready for the game to end. So with all that being said, I would give the game like a 6.5 out of 7. That's probably about the lowest rating I've ever given a game on my channel. And like I said, it's unfortunate because this game had a lot of hope and a lot of promise. But there were several departments that just made made it a kind of a poor experience. But like I said, probably one of my favorite parts of the game was the whole two realms on top of each other. That was extremely well done. So perhaps, you know, if they would have taken some more time and delayed the game, maybe beefed up their enemy variety and stuff like that, perhaps, you know, it would have been I'd be giving the game a whole different score. Okay, so we unlocked the Radiant Purifier. That's cool. Continue. Yeah, let's continue the current journey. Like I said, I'm not really interested in doing New Game Plus. So, and I did, as you can see, I did change my gear for that final fight. I was just getting cooked by the fire, so I put on like the ruiner armor and stuff like that. But basically anything that had high fire resistance. So, but that final boss was a big letdown, honestly. All the other bosses I thought were pretty cool. So that is it for Lords of the Fallen. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the journey. For the most part, I have. It was a decent experience. Just not something that I give high ratings for. So hopefully you're all doing well. Stay tuned. More coming at you.